Hey, BassGeek here. And are you having trouble in September? Well, I'm going to show you 5 baits or techniques, probably better, that's going to help you catch a fat sack in September. All right, let's jump right into it. So during September, topwater is one of my favorite things to throw. And it's kind of a progression. First half of September, I love to throw a buzzbait and a whopper plopper. Now generally I'm going to take the skirt off and I'm going to tip this, especially these finesse buzzbaits in these clear lakes that I fish. I'm going to tip this with something like a menace crawl, a small toad, twin tail grubs, but some sort of plopping bait back in the back of those creeks, those active water places, or any sort of grass. That's what I like to throw early in September. As we get into mid to late September, that's when I like to start bringing out the walking baits. You guys know a heading is one of my favorites. There's a bunch of great ones out there. Just make sure you're using the right walking bait for the right water, right conditions. Now, secondly, that's when this bait starts to come along. Now, this is a bomber long A. This starts to come in play late September, really only gets better as we get into late October, even into late November. Now this is a jerk bait, but, and to all my guys, I'm sorry, but this is an awful jerk bait, okay? It is a much better wake bait, and that is what it is used for pretty much everywhere in my region. This thing, the smallmouth, hate it. Bone is kind of my go-to. This is a nice little silver and chartreuse belly. They hate this too, but this is a wake bait, so this is what I consider another topwater bait. Next up is a soft plastic jerk bait and a hard plastic jerk bait. So the jerk bait, either or. Early in September, well into early October, this right here is going to be one of my favorite choices. Even if they're busting, sometimes they just won't eat a topwater. This right here is my go-to. This is a caffeine shad by Strike King. I've caught a ton of bass on this. Now I do belly weight it, gets it to drop a little bit quicker, and I think that gets those bass to react. Next up, this is the Mega Bass 110. This is the plus one. If they're busting or they're shallower than say 10 feet, I'm going to use the standard, just the regular Mega Bass 110. In clear water, this is my go-to color, man. This is the matte shad, love it. And to get it down a little bit deeper, I will use a couple of spin dots on it. So if they're a little bit deeper than 10 foot, that right there can help you catch them pretty deep. Swim baits, guys, surprise, surprise. I'm going to throw a swim bait in September, and I'm going to throw a swim bait probably into October. Now, when I get into October, I'm probably going to start throwing some Kitex around, some smaller swim baits. But if I'm around big shad, I'm throwing this. One of my favorite things is to throw an underspin. Now, we're going to count these as 2 of the same, but an underspin, especially a finesse, as we get later into September, a finesse underspin is just pure money. Flipping. Guys, I don't flip a jig this time of year. It is all soft plastics, and this is one of my favorites. This is the Reactions Innovation Spicy Beaver. It is a great flipping bait for this time of year. You want a little bit of action so that you can get it down there. Now, I may go down bluff walls flipping this. Anywhere I can find wood, I am going to flip this bait, because for whatever reason, in September, once they start moving from their summer haunts, they pull right up into the first wood they can find. And it is a great time to go flipping. I like the soft plastics until the water temperatures start to really plummet. Last but not least is the old trusty spoon. This is a Nichols Lures spoon, and it has got a gizzard shad crank wrap on it because I fish a lot of clear water. This is a 4-inch, I believe, Lake Fork flutter spoon, but this is probably my go-to in the clear water. I will, if I know I'm around some big gizzard shad, and that is a story we'll talk about later this time of year, I will go up to the big boys, and they, if you know where to look for gizzard shad, that big boy will get you some big bites this time of year. But a spoon is probably one of my favorite things. It's always on my deck from early summer till late fall. All right, geeks, sorry about the wind. It looks like it might rain on us this way, so we might ought to go that way, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that's my top 5. Listen, there's a ton of baits as we get into fall, September, early October. It is fall junk fishing, so I'll have a lot more baits out. That's some of my favorite baits to throw. Really not a top 5, just some of my favorite baits to catch bass on. Let me actually ask you geeks a question. So I put the August out late, but what I think I would like to do, because everybody and their mama does top 5 monthlies now. What I would like to do is actually do top 5 what worked for me this month. So do it at the end of the month when I can actually say, look at this, I caught fish on this. Look at this, I caught fish on this. Look at this, I caught fish on this. What do you guys think? Which way's better? Do you want to know it going in, or do you want to know it kind of coming out, what actually works, so you can kind of put it in your BassGeek database and use it for next year? All right, as always, questions and comments in the comment section below. You guys know I love to talk about fishing with you. Tell me some of what your top 5 September baits are. Well, maybe just what your top 2 or 3 favorite bites in September are. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you get notifications when these videos come out. Guys, watching, being part of that 100% watch squad is the most important thing you can do for the channel. It's free. And of course, I love you geeks for doing it. And as always, you geeks rock. All right, let's find out who has won the August, I know it's a little late, but the August BassGeek box. All right, let's jump over here, paste it in, add comment replies, filter duplicates. We're just gonna leave that. Numbers of winners, they're always changing this stuff. Let's get the comments. 91 unique commenters on the video, and let's pick a winner. The Bass Wicker, #jig. I will leave a comment saying, hey, you won, and I'll leave my email so that you can get in touch with me, verify it's you, and of course, get your box sent out.